Alright, so we have Bestari on the left versus Sanguine Penguin on the right. Should be a pretty good match here. We got Echo Right and Primitive Molds. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give them the go ahead. And we'll get this match underway. Oop, don't want to do that. Alright, and we're off to the races here. We got jack strips and hammered chest plates coming out hot. Hopefully Penguin gets the go-ahead there. Yep, there he goes. Okay, I didn't get to see what the Echo Ray versions were, but we'll see on Penguin's screen here real quick. So there's a plethora of reform right off the bat. Looks like a Marsh Lord is one of them, and I still didn't catch the other one. Whatever the case, Marsh Lord is what both have gone, so it doesn't matter. They have Total Recall. Not my favorite card, but some people swear by it. I don't know if these guys will swear by it. Let's see. I mean, this looks like a decently strong start. Obviously, never fun to get jack strips into an armor trial, but it is how it goes. Looks like both went for jack strips. Both, I think it was hammered chest plates was the other one. Both are kind of, I find to be early game oriented artifacts. I think jack strips is best in a tournament setting. I mean, it would, if it wasn't an armor trial, it would absolutely wreck this group, right? Wonder what, let me double check that everything is going well here. Okay, I don't know. Bestari might just have something going on. Anyway, I mean, I can't imagine either of them have issues here. We might see leaks, though. You never know. Let's see. Let me make sure. Alright, good. So 2 damage for Bestari so far. He's popped his flies here. They're trying to do everything they can to keep under... I think both of them kind of know that they're going to have to take a little bit of damage. But they want to keep under that 5 damage limit if they can. It's 2 points between... So you lose 2 points for not getting a perfect versus having 5 damage or under. You lose another 2 points versus having 20 damage or under versus 5 damage or under. So they're trying to keep under that 5 pyre damage breakpoint. They know they have to take at least 1. Looks like Bestari is under it, unfortunately. I'd have to imagine if Penguin can't take out that multi-striker, we're going to see the same for him. Guess it all depends here. Alright, so Bestari will have done a 20 or less, which will earn him 11 points. Let me verify that updated correctly. It looks like it did. Nice. Okay. Not sure if that was me or not, but anyway, we got that back. Okay, so Penguin actually was able to potentially get an edge, or early edge here if he gets this. Yep, okay, so 2-point lead this Penguin. Looks like there was, ooh, look at those units. Bounty Stalker, Keeper of Echoes. One, and then something else that I'm sure they won't take. I don't even see that unit in the middle there on Bestari's screen. Pretty good melting choices there. You got the defense and the offense. Looks, I think, so Penguin went for the stealth. Can't fault him for that. Ooh, Bounty Stalker. I didn't see what Bestari took. We'll just have to see. I mean, I have to imagine they took the Bounty Stalker. With all this reform, that's just automatic. But not necessarily. I can see maybe reasons to take the others, but I think in this sort of time windowed tournament setting, yeah, he took the Bounty Stalker. Okay, he's going to start it with Burnout 1. That seems fine. You're just going to get way more scaling out of it in the long run with that. He could do the Endless on it, just make it a super nuke. He is going for that. Interesting. We'll see if Penguin does that as well. That is a valid strategy. You will have to, get another unit as your carry unit. I guess you could always Wicklash it. Very interesting choices here. You're going to super scale that Bounty Stalker, having it on Endless like that. I don't know, though. I think I'd be tempted to just make it my carry unit. I think having it this early, you're going to scale it quite a lot. We'll just have to see. It looks like, oh wow, so they both go for the Endless route, but Penguin is going to have to, or Penguin went with the non-Burnout 1, so his is not so much of a nuke as it just never needs to reform. It's interesting choices from both players. My first thought would be I have so much reform that I don't really need to do the Endless, but I guess they can focus their reform on other things and just have these Bounty Stalkers be Endless. It's certainly interesting. I mean, we got some really creative plays coming out here from Penguin. He's killing the Echorite off and focusing the reforms there to get multiple eggs. I gotta say, I appreciate the uniqueness here. Oh, wait, what is going on with Discord? All right. Hopefully that doesn't happen a bunch. Anyway, I need to also focus, make sure I'm catching scores. So no damage has been taken so far. Bestari will get a perfect one here, it looks like. I have to imagine that, yeah, Penguin will as well. So we'll just go ahead and mark those. So still the same 2-point lead that Penguin has. It's anybody's game. You know, we're already seeing some divergence in what they want to do with their builds. You know, the Bounty Stalker is just an every turn nuke for Bestari, which could give, like, if there are rings that are very prone to leaks, he might have an advantage there. You know, it definitely is an advantage on the wave clear. The only question is, will Relentless ever be an issue? It could if we have things like Stealth Boss and he doesn't have a proper tank. We'll just have to see. Interesting choices here. You got the Kinhost Carapace, which, you know, on an Endless unit might actually be okay, right? 10-10 on each play. Maybe not that needed, though, if really just damage is all you're interested in. I didn't see. Did Penguin skip there? He might have. Burnout Extension versus a Molten Encasement. So I can't remember who took the Molten Encasement. I think Bestari already did, so he might just want some Burnout Extension. Especially, I think he hasn't seen the unit draft yet. There's the Paraffin Enforcer, which would really benefit from some Burnout Extension. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that Paraffin Enforcer could easily be his carry unit. So he's getting a pretty good build here together. He's got that nuke with the Bounty Stalker. He's got a long-term scaling plan with the Paraffin Enforcer. What are we at here shard-wise? 45 shards. Penguin, I know, is going to go hard on shards. He's... if you ever watched Penguin's streams for a very long time, he's been doing the 2 200 shard challenges here. So he's right in his comfort zone, going high shards at pretty much any given moment. And this is looking like definitely a run that can go to 200 shards with no problems. You know, the boss, patient. I mean, I'd have to imagine with the stealth and just general endless / reform shenanigans, you were not too afraid of patient. All right. You know, that remnant pack, it would have been, see, I would love to have that remnant pack right now had I not gone the endless route with the bounty stalker, but just had done a one burnout. That allows you the flexibility to still hyperscale it, but in the future have it be kind of just a carry unit that will stick down. But I suppose it doesn't matter with the plethora of stuff they kind of have here. I didn't notice that Bestari also has that Lady of the House, which is pretty nice. That's going to really help these early rings to ensure that no leaks happen. Though perhaps with the nuke bounty stalker, it's a little unneeded. Who knows? Penguin already getting on the final wave here. Could have some issues here for Penguin if you can't get enough echoes on that top floor. You know, they're not doing any damage without echoes. So only doing 200 here. Like, we could see a rough one here if he draws poorly. Yeah, I think you got to put at least some up there. A little bit of a leak here for Penguin. Ooh. Could be... So, Bestari gets through, no damage. This is probably going to even out the score here. Well, we might have a restart here then from Penguin. Yeah. So restart ring 3. I think he'll just want to focus on maybe making sure that Relentless is able to be taken care of. The plethora of eggs, it's interesting because I feel like late game it'll work what he's trying to do, but this early it's kind of hard to hatch all these eggs, yet still have, you know, echoes around to deal with what's coming up. And with 45 shards this early is not easy, right? Ooh, look at those artifacts. 3 really good artifacts for the ring 4 Divine Horde here. I don't even know what I would take. Maybe Karuska. There's a lot of extract cards. Would be kind of nice. But he opts for the Hell's Banners. I mean, you can't fault that either. Just getting extra energy every turn. I guess it really depends on how much you value echoes versus just general playing of cards out. Like, his deck may not really care about echoes that much. He's kind of just has a good melting line. Whereas Penguin, I'm sure he might rather see the Karuska. So we got the Protectors of the Clip with multi-strike, it looks like. Ooh, the Kinhouse Carapace. I did not even notice that the Bestari went with that. I don't know what the game plan with that Carapace is going to be. Is it just to eventually put it into the Stalker? It could be. Or maybe he just legitimately wants to use the unit. Who knows? I'll admit it's a unit I don't really play with much. Alright, he'll have a nice hatch there. Alright, a moment of truth for Penguin coming up. Ooh. Okay, he's got the kill. That's good. He lives to see another day. Unfortunately, the restart will not afford him any points there, so he does have a bit of a gap to close here now. Now, you never know. Bestari may or may not have caught that restart. If he did, he knows he can probably play a little more relaxed. If not, then, you know, maybe he still tries to be aggressive, and that could allow Penguin a opportunity to catch back up if Bestari has to run into a restart. If I were to guess, the only thing that might give Bestari an issue would be the Ring 5 Stealth boss. Or maybe the multi-strike boss. We'll just have to see. Alright, so does Penguin take the Karuska, I wonder? Ooh, Serrated Mandibles. I didn't catch, was that I think it was 0 damage from Bestari, right? I'll recheck at the end, but I'm pretty sure that was no damage. Yeah, looks like no damage. Alright, going in on the Marsh Lord further here is Penguin. He did take the Karuska, as I thought. Probably fits what his game plan is a bit more than the others. So he'll be pretty powerful. Ooh, this Merchant of Steel Ring 5 is a multi-strike. You love to see it. Hardened Hull. Ooh, I gotta tell you. Penguin will like that. That Hallowed Halls, though. That could definitely be pretty interesting. It could be a little awkward with both their builds, to be honest. I mean, they've got Endless Stalkers, which don't love that. I don't believe the Marsh Lord loves it. So it could be, and even Paraffin Enforcer doesn't love it that much. I could actually argue the Hallowed Halls is a bit of a bait here, but we'll see. It is such a good card that it's hard to ever say that it's truly wrong to take it. We'll just have to see how it all comes out. Look at this egg floor that Penguin has now. Maybe I missaw. Maybe there wasn't a Hallowed Halls. Maybe Bestari was just checking his logbook and I saw Hallowed Halls. I thought I had seen a Hallowed Halls in one of their decks. A brief glimpse of it. I'll just have to see here. Oh yeah, there's a Hallowed Halls right there in Penguin's deck. It must have been the Ring 3 reward. These guys play pretty fast, so it's hard to catch it sometimes what's going on. See right there, the Hallowed Halls just kind of kills the unit without bringing it back. It's tough. It's tough to know. But I guess it at least can help temporarily with hyperscaling. Or just scaling in general. And I have to imagine those triple egg floor up there, nothing's going to be able to beat that. Granted, he will lose one of them, but pretty sure that even just the two of them should be enough, along with some damage from the Stalker. Oh, Kinho's Carapace. Interesting that both of them seem to really just kind of value that Kinho's Carapace. So that'll be a clean one from Penguin. So it's a 13-point deficit he has to make up. It's not that out of the question. I mean, let's say that Bestari never restarts. There's still 3 flying kills that could be had from Penguin that might not be able to get had by Bestari, or maybe 2 flying kills that could be more realistic, maybe, plus a shard differential. It's still not out of reach. So Sycophants is an interesting one. Typically it's gone from the hardest pre-DLC Ring 5 to probably the easiest Ring 5, but it's still one that can get you by, like, the unfortunate thing here is that guy, the big tank there, Ring 2 is the only real hard part of this fight, and unfortunately that tank got the shard enhancement, which that can pose definitely some issues, if not, and it won't end as a run here, but it's potentially going to end, definitely give him some pyre damage here. All matters how much damage he can do up the top there to that tank, who has a ridiculous amount of health. 180. Now, he's not killing it right now. That Wicklash could help things. The Force Contam might be able to get it done here, though. I mean, that's a lot of extra damage. Yeah, I'd have to imagine. This, by the way, though, might be... Let's see. Yeah, he'll have enough energy with the Hell's Banners here. So Penguin entering the fight now as well. Looks like with that Force Contam, he's able to clean it up. Bestari is. Didn't catch which boss it was. Guess we'll find out very soon here. I suppose with all this reform, though, he can chump out quite a lot if it is stealth boss. Oh, it's multi-strike boss. I mean, that's the other one that can always pose issues when you don't have enough tankiness, right? Or things like consistent daze or stealth. I mean, that guy does a lot of damage. They're both at pretty high shards here, 70 and 85. That's... I guess it's... I mean... It's... For these players, I'm sure it's not actually that high of shards. They're probably pretty used to it. I mean, I know I myself am pretty used to that amount of shards at this point. We're all shard lovers here. 70 to 100 is usually what I go into Ring 5 with. Now, is that the best idea for a tournament, maybe? For win streaking, who knows, maybe not. I think I lose a lot of runs from taking shards that I probably shouldn't have took. So it looks like Bestari gets through this one cleanly. Actually, no, did he get it through cleanly? No, he took 6 damage, okay. So that'll be a little bit of an area that if Penguin can get through clean here, which, ooh, doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's gonna take some hits here. Unfortunately. He actually got... He was getting pretty close there. Very close, staying 6 damage short of being able to close that gap. But now he's going to be just under... Oh, that is a 20 exact. So he doesn't want to take any more damage. That is the break point that will at least keep him in pace with Bestari right now for the rain. He's trying to get that the Marsh Lord dead here. It's tough to do these type of non-conventional runs in a tournament setting, so I definitely have to respect Penguin for trying to do this kind of like Marsh Lord sacrifice thing. Granted, it might just be something that's like in his wheelhouse, aka like heuristically in his wheelhouse. I mean, it looks like he'll have no problem with the boss here. That molten encasement is doing pretty good work. Wants to make sure that hopefully the dude in the back doesn't die. It may not matter. I mean, he's got... I don't know if he wants to sack that. Yeah, I don't think he would want to sack that. What's he trying to do here? Interesting to kill the guy in the back. That overall just adds damage to the boss. But looks like it won't matter here. He's got it. So that'll be 20 damage. Yeah, 20 exactly. So they keep pace here. The way the scoring works, 6 damage would be equal to 20. Breakpoints are 0, 5, and 20 for pyre damage. Choices to be made here. So I guess the plan was for both of them to kind of put the carapace into... Wait, what did he do? So Bestari put it into the Stalker. Is that what Penguin did as well? I thought that's what I saw there. Well, let's just have to see. Oh, that wickless recruitment is an interesting thing. Basically, I'm sure he just puts that on the Stalker for Relentless. And Stalker's going to be doing quite a lot of damage. Oh, looks like Penguin did remove the Hallowed Halls, so I think he's kind of recognized that it just doesn't really fit his game plan there. It's a good heads-up play. Furnace Tap on Permafrost. That'll be interesting, too. I mean, you can also combo that with the Wickless Recruitment to immediately remove the Ember Drain. That might actually be more what he took the recruitment for. Bestari. I didn't see if... Didn't look like Penguin had that card. I mean, I feel like he would probably like it as well, but maybe less if he doesn't have... He probably doesn't have quite as much reason to have it. This real awkward Daze shard here for Penguin. Starting to get going on the Marsh Lord sack. Put that down there. Put it mid. He's got choices. Looks like also Bestari. I didn't realize that he's kind of on that game plan now too. I hadn't noticed him doing it before, but now he's on board with it. Basically doing the same sort of Marsh Lord reform plan. You know, it's been so. I just don't seem to get many Marsh Lord melting runs in. Like, this is kind of a strategy that probably just wouldn't even occur to me in a match like this, because I kind of go into autopilot mode in these. So it's very interesting here. They both kind of, you can tell, have some decent experience with this combo to know these type of plays to make. Pretty cool too, in that both players are really running 2 to 3 floor setups. Really, this fight's a 3 floor setup for both of them. That's how, you know, I imagine that's how Monster Train was meant to be played, instead of the kind of standard 1 floor setup that often we see, right? But, ooh, Bestari, see now? Okay, never mind. Bestari has quite the turn here. It looked for a minute like he wasn't going to get through it. So that's a clean one from Bestari. And we'll see with Penguin here. It's hard to really tell. It's hard for me to predict how these go, because there's so much ephemeral, like, future value type plays going on in both their decks, really. Like, it's all kind of like these reform power spike turns with things like Hatch and Furnace Tap. I guess I don't see the Furnace Tap in Penguin's deck. I mean, that's obviously come from a Caverns, because none of the combo here does not include Umbra. So it would have to be a specific choice, and I just don't think that he made that same choice to get the Umbra unit from that cavern. Didn't really see what he did get from the cavern, and to be honest, maybe he got nothing. We have the Hellvent on the Stalker coming from Bestari. He could be thinking about flying kills as well. The thing about Sin of Shadow is, without a resin removal, you're probably just not getting flying kills. Ooh, Penitent. Penitent's a run killer quite often. Out of all the Ring 7s, it's the one that can get you. But I don't know. The power level of these decks is pretty high. I have to imagine they're probably fine, even with the Scourges being shuffled in. That's the main thing, I guess, is like both their decks probably aren't that equipped to handle the Purifiers, but they just have such good priority draw units that they're probably not going to lose to the Ring. They might be looking at fire damage, though. Looks like Sanguine Penguin should be fine here once that top floor gets stealthed. Yeah. So is that clean? We'll see here in a second. I know he's on lower pyre health, but that could just be from... Yeah, so that was clean. I think that was just from the caverns that the pyre health was taken. Got a nice score here for Penguin. 3, 4. 3, 4. Pretty impressive for to not take any pyre damage here for Bestari. If I'm not mistaken, he hasn't taken any pyre damage. It's pretty hard to do on Penitent, especially when you don't really have a good way to kill those Purifiers, but I guess he does have a lot of Ember if he's playing 2 units a turn. He's probably going to want to maybe greed out the death here on the bounty stalker. Oh, thank you. Luckily, it's living armor. The other boss can also catch you by surprise sometimes, but I think both these decks are probably fine to beat either boss. Once that bounty stalker comes down, I'm sure it'll be death there for living armor. You know, living armor doesn't really live that much, does he? So it's another clean one from Bestari. See, a nice thing with Penguin here is he's a little bit more able to go bottom floor and deal with these dudes immediately. I mean, it doesn't end up mattering, unfortunately, because Bestari was able to not take any damage, but well, fortunately for Bestari, but unfortunately for Penguin. Whenever I comment on anybody's screen, I try to imagine myself from their perspective. Yeah, see, so Penguin, he still has this hole to dig himself out of. Like, they would be pretty even had he not had to do that restart. He would actually still have his, I believe, 2-point lead had he not had the ring 3. It's unfortunately just how it goes some of these times. The problem I foresee is I just don't know if he can get a flying kill on Patient. I don't think it's impossible, but I also don't think it's impossible for Bestari either. So, you know, you gotta make up. You can make up 10 points from here on out with flying kills. Maybe that plus the shards. He has a chance. He has a chance, but things really have to go his way. He's going to have to really play aggressive, Penguin is, if he's going to make up this differential. Definitely, at this point, the favorite would have to be Bestari, just because he has, you know, assuming Penguin gets through here clean, that'll be 84, I believe, would be his score. So, you know, it's still a bit of points to make up, because he'd be 13 behind. So it's even with the 2 flying kills, you got to be 30 shards ahead of him, which he could be. I mean, if you look at Bestari's screen, he's only at 165 shards. That if Penguin goes to 200, that is 3. But then they would still just be tying at that point, and Penguin would have to make up time and beat him on time. So there's a lot that needs to go his way. It's not out of the complete question, though. Not completely out of the question. A lot of stuff dying here for Bestari. I mean, Patient, high shards, it's a bit of a crapshoot sometimes. I guess anything could happen here. I mean, there's things Bestari could probably do here to... Let's see, that 52 trample damage is just going to be tough. Double melee weakness. going to really want to get that molten encasement working for him. So we'll see what happens with Penguin here. That stealth should certainly help. And then, does the Acolyte actually help? It does, okay. You never know with living armor. So that's a clean one for Penguin. My math was correct. It's 13-point deficit. It is increasingly looking like Bestari probably not going to get a flying kill here. The question is, will he be able to deal with Relentless? I believe so. You know, the one problem here is the bounty stalkers, they're all ephemeral and they're all just single striking, so it makes it really hard to get a flying kill, but he'll need something though. He'll need something that sticks. He'll have to probably get Wickless recruitment at the right moment in order to do Relentless, but he'll be able to at least get some chip damage in the meantime. I do kind of wonder, yeah. Yeah, he's going to have to really think these turns out. I would be, at this moment, I would really be trying to plan ahead to Relentless. I'm sure that's what he's doing here. He's got that Wicklash on holdover, so like he can get one of these bounty stalkers to stick if he wants it. I have to imagine if he's furnace tapping here, that's what he wants to do. He'll be Ember Drained pretty heavily here, but I think he must... Huh, he doesn't do the Wicklash, so he lets it burn out there. Interesting. So his Furnace Tap is now gone. That patient's pretty damaged, though. I guess maybe he just really wanted to soften the patient up. I suppose the math will work out here. You got 3 of these things with about 500 damage each. You got the pip to play them all on floor. Not mid-floor, but top floor at least. Yeah, the math should work out for him. Pretty close, though. But yeah, he'll get it here. It's mathematically impossible for him to lose at that point. This fight, at least. We'll see about Divinity. Divinity, I don't know. Divinity could be an issue. We'll see. So that's a clean one for Bestari. So I would doubt Penguin's able to flying kill here. But, I could see, since he has multi-strike on his bounty stalkers, it's probably more doable for him. I mean, it's not out of the question that he gets a flying kill. But also, more importantly, he might just have the advantage on Divinity. We'll just have to see here. You know, these multi-tank waves is what I'm worried about for Bestari. Like, he can take them out if he dedicates all of his stalkers to them, but then the other waves aren't getting dealt with. So we'll just have to see here. I don't envy either of the choices these players had to make at this point. Like everything, it's so close. They know the it's down to the wire here, and any false move is probably going to cost them the win or the loss here. Penguin's gonna hopefully be able to deal with... He's not gonna be able to deal with that guy top, unfortunately. So he'll be taking pyre damage here. I wonder how... He must not have taken one of those trials that would have afforded him the mandibles. Serrated mandibles. The mandibles would have been able to allow that Gilded Wing to die for sure without any units there. We're seeing the problem though with that I kind of saw potentially happening with Bestari's deck here. He can take this boss out, but these waves are starting to stack up, and with only one strike each, well, we'll see. He might be okay. I mean, he is taking both these waves out, essentially. There are the Shade Wings to deal with, but those can be taken out with Mandibles, potentially, which would allow him to kind of refocus on the other upcoming floors. Also does have that Paraffin Enforcer, which should help. So it looks like we do get a kill here, and not a flying kill, but it is a kill for Penguin. 10 damage taken. So really, the only way for Penguin to win at this point is to beat Divinity with Bestari not beating Divinity, which after that turn there, I think is looking pretty bleak for Penguin. Because Bestari, it looks like he's just going to be able to deal with this. I feel like the questionable rounds at this point are over in this fight. Usually with Divinity, if your survival is pretty good by this point, you're probably good. He is going with the Furnace Tap here. And maybe he's just planning on hopefully getting... I guess the thing does have 80 health. Did he get rid of his Wickless Recruitment, I wonder? I know he had one at one point. I just haven't seen it come about. Every time I look over at his hands, it never seems to be in hand. But he'll have Relentless coming up here pretty soon. Oh, that was nearly a flying kill. He was really going for it there, but he'll definitely have it here. So that should solidify the win. Very well fought by both players, though. It was never completely out of contention, but Bestari did have that lead kind of from ring 3 on. So we have the conclusion here from Bestari. Be a score of 154. Let's go ahead and unmute Bestari here. Hey, Bestari, congratulations. Looks like that should secure the victory there. Not sure if you had caught it, but Penguin had a ring 3 restart, so you kind of had the advantage from that point on, and kind of just secured it with that win there.
Oh, that's awesome. I wasn't sure if you might have got some flying kills. I really missed that flying kill on Last Divinity.
Yeah, you
I just
go
yeah
really close. What was it, 70 health or something?
yeah I think it was just 23 actually, but yeah, it was really close. I could have gotten it earlier. I just didn't realize that the Ember Drain doesn't matter to me anyways because my units are zero cost.
Right.
It took me way too long to realize that.
Yeah, you
But
had.
yeah,
So you probably were kind of originally just relying on that wickless recruitment, but then kind of once you got the what's it called, Hell's Banners, you kind of just didn't need it after that. Is that kind of how it was going?
yeah, exactly. But then I just didn't realize that I could just play my multi-strike Umbra card, because my health I had the -2 unit cost thing. I
Right.
could have done that in the Sire fight already, I think,
Ah, I
to
see.
maybe get a flying kill. But yeah, I just didn't realize. But if I'm still winning, then it's not too bad.
Right.
But
Right.
still wasn't a perfect run for me from that perspective. Could have done better a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough to really play perfect in these settings, especially because both of your decks were not necessarily easy to navigate. It looked like both of you kind of had three entire floors, which is fun to
Yeah,
see, right? You don't usually see that a lot with Monster Train. I feel like that's probably how the devs intended it to be played, but just the nature of it usually ends up just with one floor setups. But pretty
yeah,
cool,
it's pretty rare indeed.
right?
Yeah, but I'm happy how it went. I'm happy that I won. I had some close calls, but was able, especially in the early rings, to get through it. Melting Environment really is strong because of all the
Yeah,
reform you have to always bounce back from any misplays.
yeah. It was interesting. I'd kind of noticed both of you at certain points in the run were kind of sacrificing your Marsh Lord to get extra eggs. That was pretty neat to see. I think I would be I'm like so uncomfortable with this combo that I wouldn't even have thought to do it. But I could tell that you guys have kind of like have some level of comfort there to be able to get to recognize that and make that play.
Yeah, I actually didn't even mean to get an extra egg. I just wanted space on my top floor for the bounty stalkers so they can die one more time
Yeah,
and relentless. But then I realized I have an extra egg for defense, and that was a benefit.
yeah,
I'm looking at Sanguine right now, and it looks like he's having a little bit of trouble finishing Last Divinity.
yeah. It looks like he needs to make up about 600 uh,
It's
damage
really
here.
close.
Yeah. Wonder if he. Let's see. What would he? Hmm. Looks like he might just be letting it go through here.
Oh, that's really close.
Yeah,
Empire almost
pretty
got it.
close. Was a valiant effort. I'll go ahead and unmute him. Hey, Penguin, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. How did it go for Bestari?
It went pretty well. You wanna?
Well, obviously you won. I mean, there's no way you didn't. My question was, did I actually have a chance going into the last Divinity or no?
You would have had a chance. I mean, only if Bestari had basically
Well,
died to Divinity.
well, no, no. Well, yeah. I mean, like, had he won,
Oh, I see.
you know what
No,
I mean? Like, I didn't
no.
think so. Okay,
Yeah, you
that's what I figured.
you would have. So going into patient, the way that it would have worked is you would have had to get two flying kills perfect versus
Okay,
Bestari not
yeah.
getting them, and then you'd have also had to beat him on time. So there was a chance, but
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't. There's no way
it
I was
was.
gonna like. Yeah, no, there was literally no chance. All right, no, that's I figured somewhere early on when I had to restart Talos, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna lose now, which is
that
fine.
that was tough. I mean, it's. I think you did pretty well. Like from there on out, you kept pace. You and Bestari pretty much kept pace with each other, but that hole was just tough to dig out of
Yeah,
the
you
restart.
literally can't get out of it if he just plays well.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Right.
It seems like we did similar-ish kind of things.
Yeah, I also think so. We both had the bounty stalkers. I went for the endless bounty stalker though. I don't know if you also did that.
I did. I didn't get burnout 1 on it. Was my issue. Yeah, you got the Kin host on it. I got multi-strike on mine. I was happy with it. It didn't really get super strong. I was trying to do some Echo Right Reform Egg shenanigans, which I've done in the past, but it's very hard to
Yeah.
get working. But it's no biggie. That was a fun run.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, both of you had 3 floors off and filled up, which is rare to see, I feel. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was hoping. I had 2 hallowed halls, and I was like, "Can I use these?" And the answer was no, I couldn't. And I guess that's what you get for putting endless on the bounty stalker. Had I not done endless on him, I guess I could have gone for that. So I'm wondering if I don't put endless on him as early. I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, there's interesting that ring too. There's a lot of decisions to be made there because there's benefits and drawbacks to basically, there's kind of 3 different variants you could do with that bounty stalker. You could just, well, I guess 4, but if you're gonna put upgrades in, you can kind of go the burnout 1 and endless route, kind of make them into a hyperscale nuke. That if you do find some extension, you could still make it kind of be a carry unit. You could do the endless to hyperscale it, but then the reform doesn't play as nicely, or you could just do the burnout 1, no endless. You probably don't scale it as much, but it's like more usable as like a carry unit if like good extension
that's
doesn't
what
come
I
up.
was considering as well, just not taking the burnout, maybe not taking the endless.
Not taking the
Because we
endless.
had a lot of reform in the deck, so it wouldn't have been hard to reform it, but I thought more scaling would probably be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a hard choice, and I think that's not really a correct choice. It's just
Right.
they're all really valid choices for bounty stalker.
Right. Yeah, all of them strong in their own right.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thanks for the good games, guys. That was pretty fun to watch the both of you. Very well played.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll wrap this one up. Any closing thoughts?
No, just a solid run.
Yeah, and I had a lot of fun. Thanks for the good game.
Yeah, best luck, guys. I'll probably talk to you guys later.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.